Hey Shark Tank fans, welcome to Shark Tank Tips. I'm your host, Zoe Hewitt. As always, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at RealZoeHewitt. Now let's talk father figure. Andrew is in the tank in front of the Sharks. He was asking for $80,000 in exchange for 15% of his company. Now, he started out strong. He had a couple of dads walk in with babies, and the Sharks loved those babies. But when it came to discussing the product, the Sharks weren't quite as sold. So in 11 months, he had raised $33,000, $30,000 from a Kickstarter campaign, so not a lot after that. These are basically shirts that have soft shoulder pads, so a baby with sensitive skin like Andrew's own has a place to put their cheeks that's nice and soft. They have loops on the sides, you have a place for a burp cloth. The idea that he came up with was that, hey, moms have maternity clothing, why don't dads have something special? So he thought of these options, but not a lot of options. It's really a bandana line and a shirt line, and these shirts are pricey. $128 retail for a denim shirt. Now, that's a lot of money for a shirt that you really are only going to use for a short period of time. The amount of time you're burping your baby and holding burp rags isn't that long. And like the Sharks pointed out, maternity wear is really functional for moms. And while I was watching this, I couldn't help but think, why wouldn't you just stick a burp rag in your pocket? Or if you're not wearing a pocket, like in your band of jeans or boxers or whatever you happen to be wearing. So for my money too, I was a little bit with the Sharks wondering, what's the big selling point here, especially for that whopping price tag, $128. Like, I keep going back to that because that is a really expensive shirt, especially a shirt you're not gonna wear very much. Now, Andrew is definitely committed. I think he knew what he was doing. I think that Damon was the shark I would have put my money on for if there were going to be an investor. Damon was the right shark. I think that Andrew knew that too, and he really wanted a deal, but all the sharks bowed out, a lot of them thinking that, yeah, not only is this not a fully formed product, but it's just a product that has a very narrow window of opportunity. So biggest takeaway, biggest Shark Tank tip here, I think, is that when you have a company, when you have a product in particular, make sure that it's not just a shirt with a loop on it. And I don't mean that in a condescending way to Andrew, I just mean they need something else to it. And that's what the Sharks were saying. This is a great idea, just we need a little more. It's not quite there yet. So biggest tank tip here is to make sure that your product is really fully formed before you go into the Shark Tank. But what do you think? Let me know. Tweet me, send me a note. You can find me at RealZoeHewitt on Twitter and Instagram, and we'll be back with more Shark Tank tips.